Good afternoon, students. This is Dr. RUCHI, your facilitator. Today we'll talk about the topic conflict. The concept of conflict being an outcome of behavior is an integral part of whenever there is an interaction, there is a conflict. It can be defined as many ways and can be considered as an expression of hostility, disagreement, negative attitude, aggression, rivalry, misunderstandings, etc. It is also associated with the situations that involve contradictory opinions and can be defined as disagreement between two or more individuals or groups. It is also considered to be psychological state of mind when people are in state of dilemma whether to do or not to do a thing. According to Follett, conflict is an appearance of differences and the differences of opinions, of interests, etc. Now, we also know that a conflict is a clash of interests, and the basis of conflict may vary, but it is always a part of society. The basis of conflict may be personal, racial, class, caste, political, and or international. Conflict in groups may often follow a course of action. Now, when we talk about the nature of conflicts are natural. Uh, they are inevitable results of individuals working together, sharing diverse thoughts, concerns, perspectives, and goals. And a manager has to deal with conflict situations both as mediator to help to resolve the conflicts between others and as a participant. They are not big, emotional blowouts or scenes of physical violence, although these can and do occur, especially in workplaces in which conflict is not managed well. Conflicts usually involve small matters that continuously grind down working relationships. Now, it is also multidimensional. The concept of conflict is multidimensional as it envelops a family of forms. It is a clash of powers. However, conflict is not a balanced equilibrium of power. Equilibrium of powers. It is not a stable resultant. It is balancing in nature. Conflict is, again we can say, is a pushing and pulling, giving and taking, the process of finding the balance between powers. It is universal about self, others, and reality, growth and development, and increasing ability to create individuals' own heaven or hell comes through conflict. Now, it is disruptive in nature. In business organization, conflict may be described as a breakdown or disruption in normal activities in such a way that individuals or group concerned experience difficulty in working together. If employees fail to work together but openly uh, they fail to work together, and their conflict arises. Disagreement again is another nature of conflict. There are often disparities in the perception of who is involved in the conflict. Sometimes individuals are surprised to learn they are the party of the conflict, while at they are shocked to learn that they were not included in the disagreement. It also is a perceived threat. Individuals respond to a perceived threat rather than the true threat which faces them. Thus, while perception does not become reality, per, reality, an individual's behavior, feelings, and ongoing responses become modified by sense of threat to their comfort. A manager who works towards understanding the true threat and develops strategies that manage it acts constructively to manage the conflicts. Now, there is a tendency to narrowly define the problem as one of the substance or task in terms of viability. However, workplace conflicts tend to be far more complex than because they involve emotional components. Simply stated, there are always procedure needs and psychological needs to be addressed within the conflict, in addition to the substantial needs that are generally prescribed The durability of the interests and concerns of the parties transcends the immediate present situation. Any effort to resolve the conflict effectively must take these points into consideration. Therefore, in simple definition, a conflict lies in a complex set of issues which must be given importance. So, thus, it is not surprising that satisfactory resolutions of most conflict can prove to be challenging and time consuming in to address. Now, there are certain causes or sources of conflict. One, the organization change. People hold differing views over the directions uh, to go, the route to take, and the likely success, the resources to be used, and the probable outcomes. With the pace of technological, political, and social change increasing and marketplace hurtling towards global economy, organization change will be ever present. Now there are certain personality clashes. There are different set of values of different people. Now, when we talk about the threat to status, the status or the social rank of a person in a group is very important to many individuals. When one status is threatened, face saving becomes a powerful driving force as a person struggles to maintain a desired image. Conflict may arise between the defensive person and whoever created the threat to status. Now, there are contrasting perception, there is a lack of trust, there are interdepartmental interdepartmental and intergroup wrangles, overwhelmingly, concerned with territory where one group feels that another is treading in the area and is legitimately theirs. And there are prestige. One group feels that another is gaining recognition and efforts and success that are legitimately theirs. Poaching and theft. There's one group which attracts away the staff of the other. And there are certain job related issues also, like conflict between job and job holder, conflict between job and organization, conflict between job holder and the organization. Now, once the causes and sources are understood, we should also know that there is a process of conflict. It includes the following steps: latent conflict stage, when two or more parties need each other to achieve desired objective, there is a potential for conflict. Now, there's a perceived conflict stage. This is a state at which members become aware of a problem. Incompatibility of needs is perceived, and tension begins as the parties begin to worry about what will happen. But no party feels that it is being overtly threatened. Felt conflict, where the parties become emotionally involved and begin to focus on differences of opinions and opposing interests, sharpening perceived conflict. Internal tensions and frustrations begin to crystallize around specific defined issues, and people begin to build an emotional commitment to their position. Now, there is a manifest conflict stage in which parties engage in actions that help to achieve their own objectives and ruin those of others. Now, conflict outcome, the fifth stage, aftermath and outcome, you can say. The conflict finally results in an outcome which may be functional or dysfunctional. If handled well, the result is functional conflict. If mishandled, the consequences are dysfunctional conflict. As conflict proceeds through the stages, resolution becomes more difficult. We should also be aware about the types of conflicts. There are three types of conflicts: individual level, group level, and organization level. Now, individual level, all these three are further divided into another two types: intra group and intergroup conflicts. Thank you so much, students.